Dear students, welcome to the fifth session of 8051 interrupts. So, in the first four sessions, we came to know that what is the meaning of interrupt and how many interrupts are there and all. And from this session, we will take up individual interrupt in detail. So, now let us start with the first, that is programming timer interrupts. So, as we seen in the third lecture, just I will go back. As we seen in the third lecture that we have totally 6 interrupts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry 5 interrupts, right? So, out of these 5 we have 2 external interrupts and 2 timer interrupts and 1 serial port interrupt. Now, I will take up about the timer interrupts first, then I will go with the external interrupts, then I will go with the serial port interrupt. So, now I have written the title called programming timer interrupts, how we have to program the timer interrupts. Before going to start with the programming, we should know the theoretical part of all the interrupts, then we will start with the programming. So, the first one, as you know about the timers, right? So, in timers, we know that the timer overflow flag, that is denoted by TF, is raised when the timer rolls over. The meaning is whenever the timer reaches to the final value and when it resets back to 00, then the timer overflow flag will be set. Okay. So, we also came to know how to monitor TF flag with the instruction, that is JNB TF comma target. So, we will be checking at what time the TF will be equal to 1. So, using this instruction, right. So, we have to wait until TF is to be raised, that is nothing but polling. Okay. So, we need to check continuously the value of TF when it will become equal to 1. After the value of TF becomes equal to 1, it will come out of that loop. So, we need to wait on this instruction. So, the problem here is with the microcontroller is tied down and cannot do anything else. So, until and unless TF value becomes equal to 1, until and unless TF value becomes equal to 1, the microcontroller can't do anything, right? So, here there will be the wastage of time. So, this is about the timers, right? So, in interrupts, using interrupts, we can solve this problem and avoid tying down the controller. So, how that is to be done now? So, how this is done? So, this is done if the timer interrupt in the I register. So, I register is interrupt enable register is enabled, right? Once again I will repeat, if the timer interrupt in the I register, interrupt enable register is enabled, when the timer rolls over, TF is raised and the microcontroller is directly interrupted in whatever it is doing and jumps to IVT to service the ISR. The meaning is, first we have to make the timer interrupt bit in I register is equal to 1. Okay, timer interrupt bit in I register is equal to 1. So, just I will go back here. So, timer interrupt bit. So, here we have a timer bit, that is T1 or a T0. If you are using timer 0 interrupt, we need to make here 1. Before going to start with the program, we need to make here equal to 1 if we are using timer 0, or if you are using timer 1 interrupt, then we have to make this is equal to 1. And the most important one is we have to make EA is equal to 1 because it look after all the bits, right? So, before going to start with the program, we need to make that particular bit is equal to 1. So, when the value of this particular timer bits is equal to 1, if we are using timer 0, then we have to make this is equal to 1, or if we are working with the timer 1, then we have to make this bit is equal to 1 before writing the program. So, we need to write the instruction in such a way that we need to make the particular interrupt value is equal to 1. right? So when we make that is equal to 1, I have written the same statement here. If the timer interrupt in the IA register is enabled, right, whenever the timer rolls over, whenever the timer reaches to the maximum value and when it rolls back to 000000, TF is raised. As we know, when TF is raised, the interrupt has to be generated. So at that instant, the microcontroller will not check the value of TF, rather than it will jump to the address of that particular timer. If it will jump to the address of that particular timer, that only I have written here, the microcontroller is interrupted in whatever it is doing and jumps to IVT. So what is IVT? Interrupt vector table. So the microcontroller jumps to the IVT to fetch the address of that particular timer to service the routine, interrupt service routine. This is the first statement. So in this way, the microcontroller can do other things until it is notified that the timer has rolled over. So how that is done is with the help of these two statements. For example, if I am using timer interrupt 0, if I am using timer interrupt 0, right, before going to use timer interrupt 0, I should make the value of timer interrupt 0 bit is equal to 1 in IA register. Okay, whenever the timer rolls over, the TF value becomes equal to 1, right? The TF value becomes equal to 1 and the microcontroller jumps to the IVT to fetch this particular address. So timer 0 address, interrupt vector address is 000BH. Please note the value of timer 0 address is 000BH. So it will execute the instructions with respect to timer 0 and it will go back to the main program. And if I am using timer 1 interrupt, it jumps to the address called 001BH and after the execution of ISR, it will move back to the main program. Okay, so this is about the timer programming, the timer interrupts. If you get any questions, you can put onto the comments. I will try to answer. Thank you.